here where it says 12.
Drag it all the way back here.
Ah, no!
My goodness.
How is someone seeing?
Yeah, shoot, that's the wall. That is a deep hole. So unfortunately, we failed inspections. A couple weeks ago, we had our inspection for the water heater. I guess at the first time you install a water heater, it needs to be inspected by a technician, and we did not pass that inspection. Originally, our plumber told us to run the exhaust fan out the wall up through the chimney of the fireplace that we built over here. And we actually even received quite a few comments and emails saying that that was too long of a stretch. It wasn't possible. I was just doing what the plumber told us, and well, the technician failed the inspection. So now we need to drill a 45 centimeter hole through this roof, which is really annoying because then you have water issues, but I'll make sure it gets all sealed up properly. And then run a pipe out behind this wall, up and through the roof of the house. So I managed to get through the first layer rather quickly, actually. The first layer is probably that thick of concrete, plus around that thick of insulation. But then just like with everything else we've done, there's multiple layers of concrete. It's the final layer of concrete that I just don't know if I'm even gonna be able to get through with my machinery, because there's an obnoxious amount of rebar in that layer, but all I can do is try.
So we have had a bit of a slug problem in our garden. It's been kind of a morning mission to come out here and pick off the slugs. They especially like the green beans and the broccoli. So we'll see if those survive. They may have won the battle on those, but we're trying to win the battle on all the other things we've got growing here. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a water and just let them grow.
So every like 10 seconds or so, just put a little splash of water inside the hole like this. Okay? I think I'm getting probably pretty close. So it's time to break out something a little bit stronger and bring out a proper jackhammer to get through this. The drill that I have is not exactly meant for going this deep or through this much rebar. Really, the problem is the rebar, and it's eating up the bit. So we'll have a nice clean hole up on top, and then we're just gonna blow out the bottom with the jackhammer. It really doesn't matter. I know it's a little confusing. I'm not actually drilling into the room itself. I'm drilling into the space, the crawl space behind the room. So if I blow out concrete and it looks ugly, it really doesn't matter. Ouch! Ah, I think the house somehow lost its ground, like the ground cable became disconnected. The electrician's supposed to come back to fix it. But I think I just need to fix it. My goodness. I put on gloves, but there was a hole in my glove. Ah, that's the worst one yet. Ouch. Maybe I should fix the ground before I do this. I got electrocuted, Alexa.
I heard you.
You heard me? Yeah, I think everyone heard me. But with a battery, there is no problem of being electrocuted. Oh man, it only took 4 hours. All right, so welcome back to my secret dungeon here. I'll show you what I'm working on here and why it didn't really matter that I jackhammered out. It's because all of that concrete blew out here, but it doesn't matter. It's not seen from the inside. And then we've added 3 curves to get it inside of there. But yeah, this is the back dungeon where we're passing all of our tubes and electrical lines. You've got air conditioner lines, everything running behind the house. That's a drain line to take water away from the house, and just a beautiful, disastrous mess back here.
We have been building out this house for years now, and this is actually one of the first spaces that we ever built. I'll never forget Bradey and Chloe coming out here in the pouring rain and laying these stones and building out this garden bed. It's a really, really special place, and it reminds me of how far we've come from that first week, I think it was, here on our property to now. When we first stepped on this property, we fell in love with it, and there have been a lot of challenges along the way, and it just feels like things are finally coming together, and that is so encouraging and so exciting. And I'm hoping that we just make a lot more memories here this summer. It's gonna be a good summer.
I'd be lying if I said I was comfortable doing this. The problem is not really punching the hole. The problem is getting it to look nice and not leaking water after I punch the hole. The supplies that I bought, I'm not entirely sure if it's the right stuff. I'm not a roofer. I don't know what I'm doing. But we're gonna try and figure this out, because it has to be done. And today is just cooking. It's so hot up here. I love projects like this that really force me out of my comfort zone, because there's several other things that need to be punched through the roof, such as the line for our satellite, because we're going to have satellite internet, because we Obviously can't get regular internet out here. And all of these things I've been, you know, waiting and relying on the schedule of other people, but this one I couldn't wait. We need to get this approval. So it's forcing me to learn, which means now I can do the other things. In theory. Hasn't worked out yet. That turned out to be a lot more involved than I thought it would be. Whew, and too hot of a day for it. We're dealing with such a massive heat wave going through Italy right now, all of Europe in fact, and it's just a little bit miserable to be outside if I'm honest. So I'm going to take a moment to just hide in the shade right now and also to tell you about today's video sponsor of Delete Me. If you aren't aware, Delete Me are the privacy experts that we entrust to go out and find our personal information that's been spread around the internet and to have it removed. Every time you get one of those spam phone calls or those annoying phishing emails or potential scams, it's because your information has been collected, usually by data brokers. They package up all of your personal information that's available. They'll actually sell it off to the highest bidder, whether that's to advertisers or to even scammers. The internet just isn't what it used to be, and it's just the reality of what we have to deal with these days. And there's not even that much that you can do about it other than entrusting a service like Delete Me to have the information removed, because even if you decide never to post anything on social media, it doesn't stop data brokers from collecting your information, because a lot of times your information is publicly available even on government websites. Things like your personal email address, your home address, your cell phone number. This personal information is out there and can cause problems for you if it's not removed. When you sign up for Delete Me, within 7 days, you'll get a privacy report that shows where all of your information is left public, and then they'll go to work having it all removed. Right now, if you also want to join Delete Me, you can get 20% off by going to joindeleteme.com/Voyagers, or by scanning the QR code on screen now, or simply by entering the code Voyagers at checkout. But with that, thank you so much, Delete Me, for sponsoring today's video. All right, show me what's going on.
What? Tomato flowers.
Tomato flowers?
1, 2, 3.
What do tomato flowers mean?
The flowers that become before tomatoes.
Cool. Have you been looking for the slugs every single day?
Not every day.
Watering every day?
usually watering.
We're definitely having more than a little of a slug problem. Trying to pick them off every single day.
Get some more water.
So yes, I didn't learn my lesson from the last time. I didn't properly cover these boxes. The problem is that the whole ground level raised up since we placed these boxes. So I need to cement on an extender and then a top to it and, well, time. But I'm digging out this box to figure out why we're all getting electrocuted in the house because somehow the ground isn't working. That's at least the working theory. So I shut off the entire electricity to the house. And as I'm digging out, I'm struck by just how hot the ground cable is, which is very confusing to me. This is morning, it was a cold night last night, and yet the concrete box itself is probably, I'd say, at least 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And the wire, I don't even want to touch it. It's too hot to touch. That's concerning. It makes no sense. I mean, that's 120 degrees. That's crazy. So I originally thought that the ground burned off. It actually kind of looks melted off, but I realized this is too thin of a wire to be the ground. The rail ground is still connected. This was just an extra wire to pull something in the future. So I'm confused because if the house is properly grounded, and we actually have 2 grounding points,
Then why are we getting electrocuted?
why are we getting electrocuted? And why is this box, I mean, honestly, probably 140 degrees Fahrenheit. What is that, like 50 Celsius?
Yeah.
It's someone's going to post something in the comments that's much smarter than me and explain exactly why this happened. But the electrician is hopefully coming today, this afternoon. I don't know, that's weird. So while on the subject of failing inspections, we have one more hole that we need to cut in. Again, it would have been nicer to know about these ahead of time because you could have planned for it and not build a concrete wall. You could have just, put the tube in and then built the concrete wall, but we're doing things backwards today. Since our water heater works both off of electricity and gas, and even though we're prioritizing the electricity, just having the gas as a backup, just in case there's a gas leak at all, we need to have a vent that sits low on the floor for that gas to sink to the floor and then escape out of the vent. So you want to see why I screamed so much yesterday?
Yeah.
I'm getting shocked. So that's rebar. Watch.
Oh no, honey. Holy, oh no. Oh
That's-
my goodness.
That's welding. So that's...
What?
You need to get her electricity fixed.
I think so.
Oh man, that's why it hurt so bad yesterday.
Well,
I'm gonna get the battery back out for this guy. For whatever reason,
Okay.
it's really bad with this. I don't want to complain, but it's one of those things that if someone had done their job properly, this would have been 30 minutes of work the first time instead of doing it after the wall is here. And now it's 2 days of backbreaking work between the 2 holes. The reinforced concrete portion of the wall is easy compared to trying to get through the stone. I can't complain though, because for the most part, everyone we've worked with has been unbelievable. But, you know, we've had a lot of issues with one trade.
So our plan with this tree is to basically move it down to the terrace below so that it can kind of start to dry out and decompose, and then maybe the big chunks of log we would love to turn into maybe like some planter boxes or something. We'll see.
So long term, this whole orange pipe and all of these tubes back here will be fully covered up with a mixture of concrete and stones. We'll have a nice little stone step here that covers over everything. And then this either will become like a stone ledge to sit on, or maybe far in the future, I might build a stone staircase up to get up to the second terrace here. And then once this concrete cures, I'll come back and I'll put a waterproof barrier that's painted on over top of that area, since I did punch a hole through our waterproof roof. All right, we are taking a break to do something super fun. Alexa, what are we doing?
So we're going to Comic-Con because they're having it here in our where we live, and for the Percy Jackson fans, I'm being Leo Valdez.
Very cool.
We're making the hammer.
So a big event is coming to town where the kids get to dress up. They want me to dress up as well, but I'm fighting back against it. But today we are working to build a prop for her cosplay outfit. That's Alexa's sketch for the design for what we're going to do. We're going to build a giant hammer. All right. So this width, does that work?
Yeah, that works.
Or do you want it to be a little bit longer? If I
I think That width is
Go with
fine.
this one?
Yeah.
Okay. That you're allowed to use.
I've known that from a young age.
That's good. If you want to, just stand on this side and stabilize it. The trick is you don't want to push it one way or another. You just want me to do all of the pushing, okay?
Yeah, and
All right, and then you can drop to 17. All right, so then 2 end chunks that are how much?
17.
All right, can you hand me that square there? Yep.
That confused my brain.
So here you can see that the line actually has thickness itself, right?
Yes.
So the 17, the big line there, comes just to the outside of the pencil line on this side, okay? So then you ignore this. That doesn't help you at all. And you look at the blade, and the first thing, there's 2 triggers. This one allows you to go down, and then you have to pull both of them to start it, okay?
Okay.
You bring the blade down first, and you look.
It's not lined up. There.
That's lined up right. Then
Kind
you're
of.
gonna hold it with this hand, your left hand, keeping your fingers as far back as possible, and then you're gonna cut, okay? So, nope, you're gonna hold it a little bit more stable, because you don't want it to, yep, and then that's how you pull it down. Perfect. Very good. Let me go ahead and get just the base of it started,
Yes, I
so
would.
that it has some stability. I'll get a couple walls together, and then you can do the majority of the nailing after that, okay? Short wall like so. Let's actually pop it up on its side. Once I get a couple walls together, it'll be a lot easier. One more side wall up, and then you're gonna do the rest. The side walls are shorter, right?
Yeah, sidewalk is shorter. Get my weapon ready.
You have your weapon ready. It is a weapon if you're not careful. Oh man,
Oh no. Oh no.
almost too big on that one.
Oh no.
Sweaty, sweaty, sweaty. My goodness.
To measure it
So
from
they,
here as well.
yep. So it's gonna go all the way through. Watch out a little bit. How long do you think? You want like here probably?
I would grab it.
Because it's like it's a two-handed hammer, yeah. Good job. Oh, you mean it's gonna drop in there and then we won't be able to get it out?
Yeah.
You're so smart. There you go. This way it doesn't fall in. Oh my goodness, come on. There we go. Alright, so now this goes like that.
Wow. I think we might need to make it a little smaller.
Well, we followed your designs. Well, but what are we supposed to do now?
Oh
You want to start over?
no. We don't really have any. I don't know.
Well, look at the picture, because it is very big, but you're right. If we had made it just a little bit smaller, this tiniest bit smaller, it might be better. We followed her designs exactly, but now she thinks it's too big. So, we'll turn it into a birdhouse or something, and we'll start over. Alright, give it a twirl.
I like it.
You like it? Oh, the balance is perfect.
Yeah.
The last one was too heavy.
Yep.
All right, I should put my gloves back on, but that's okay. Nice one.
Oh man. Whoa.
Not fun.
That's awesome. That's
I do
so cool.
Spray a clear coat on it so it doesn't get your hands all dirty.
Yeah.
Didn't really.
That would
Nice.
be good for whopping.
Ooh, she almost whopped me. I almost whopped Alexa that time. Oh man.
Ow.
Looks like our craft table is being
Well
good to use. Good
Well
use,
used.
yeah.
So the electrician thankfully has come and fixed our electrocution problem. So we'll no longer be getting zapped every time we open the fridge or the dishwasher or really do anything in the house. It was impressive that you could weld with that jackhammer
Isn't that crazy?
against the rebar. The reason why, which I still don't understand, is somehow our 220 volt system turned into a 400 volt system. Which I don't understand how we didn't fry just everything plugged into the house. That happened after a lot of diagnosing, which I didn't film any of it because the electrician was very embarrassed, and he's such a great guy, so I didn't want to pressure him. He accidentally had a short in our heat pump, which somehow, I don't understand because it's a 3-phase system with a single-phase unit, and I don't even know what those words mean, but it was sending 400 volts throughout the entire system, maybe just through the ground, I don't know.
It was a mess, but now it's fixed.
Now it's fixed.
Yes.
So that's good. The only problem we're facing now is our beautiful bathtub that we had to redo, 5-6 times?
Oh, no.
Digging out the pipes, because, yeah. Well, it doesn't work. The kind of.
I mean, we
water-
figured it out how to make it
Water
work. but-
technically comes out of the spigot, but it takes about 2 hours to fill the bathtub. I think sand and cement got in the line with the numerous times that we had to dig up that section and redo it.
We'll see how that gets resolved.
Yeah. Currently, we're filling the bathtub via a long pipe that we then take the shower handle and plug into the pipe and fill the bathtub.
It's like
that
a
way.
waterfall. It works, It
But
works.
slowly, we're getting through all of the minor little hiccups. But it wouldn't be fun without a little bit of an adventure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But with that, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.